So how do you feel about the opening of the new Extreme?
This is so good.
Hi, welcome to therottenrebel. I'm here with the one and only Sandra Solomon Fragrance.
Hi everyone.
And welcome back to yet another comparison, and this is going to be a lot of fun because we are going to compare the Bad Boy line of men's fragrances. We have the EDT, we have the Superstars, which is basically the EDT. We have Parfum Cobalt and the brand new Extreme. So like always, we have prepared fragrance strips with the dry downs of each fragrance. But let's start with the opening of the EDT. Please do spray it on. Some of the notes in Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy, the eau de toilette are black pepper, white pepper, bergamot, sage, cedar, tonka bean, cacao and amberwood. So what do you think of the opening of the EDT?
I mean, it's impossible not to like this one because it's aromatic, it's spicy, it has something warm about it and something woody.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone likes a fragrance like that on a man.
Yeah, I agree with you. The opening is very likable. It's basically something spicy, something aromatic. I don't feel it's sharp spicy.
No.
I feel it's like smooth spicy.
Yeah.
And I can already feel something woody and something slightly sweet coming in right in the opening. I think it's a really nice opening.
This is a wonderful opening, and this is the kind of fragrance that just smells good the moment you spray it on. You do not have to wait for the dry down.
So let's try the dry down of the EDT.
This is interesting because this is still aromatic, it's still woody, slightly spicy, but I feel more of the freshness from the bergamot now in the dry down.
Yeah, and this is something I feel is quite underrated. Also, something I feel is a bit unique thanks to the mix of cacao and that woodiness together with the spiciness. So basically this is like soft, slightly sweet chocolate with a bit of vanilla, a bit of woodiness and something spicy over it. The combination of the cacao and the woodiness is something I don't come across that often in fragrance. No. And that's the reason why I feel this scent is a bit unique.
I agree with you that it is kind of unique and it does bring something new to the table, but still it is that kind of aromatic, fresh, woody and spicy scent that you have smelled in so many more successful fragrances before. So I think maybe this is a bit underrated. I mean, there is no way that you are going to spray this on and people are not going to like how you smell.
Definitely. So we are going to skip the Superstar Collector because I feel this and this is pretty much the same fragrance. I didn't know that, so I ended up buying both, but we are not going to try that one. So please do spray on Le Parfum. Some of the notes in Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy Le Parfum are cannabis, grapefruit, black pepper, geranium, leather and vetiver. So please do share how you feel about the opening of Le Parfum.
I think the opening of Le Parfum is really good. I think it's really cool. It is citrusy, it's slightly sweet. It definitely has something green and herbal about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite unique.
So yeah, I agree with you. The opening is definitely something unique. This is spicy, it's aromatic, and I'm guessing it's that cannabis note that gives it this sort of herbal, almost earthy, slightly, I don't know, slightly sort of a woody kind of feel to it. And I really enjoy the grapefruit in this one, which I feel gives it a sort of a brightness and shine to it. The opening of Le Parfum is going to be either something you feel is really cool and really unique, or something you feel is just pure shit. And I believe it's the cannabis note that's behind that. So you're either going to think this smells gorgeous, or you are going to think that this doesn't smell good at all. But I think regardless if you love it or not, you probably can agree with me that the opening is quite unique. I'm not sure if I like the EDT more than the Parfum, but I still like the opening.
I'm thinking that I might like the EDT's opening more. It's definitely way more versatile and mass appealing. But in a way, I also like the Le Parfum's opening more because it's so unique. This is nothing you have smelled before.
So the dry down of Le Parfum, how do you feel about it?
This is so good. I really like that this is herbal, slightly aromatic. It's some kind of warmth to it. I think it's still a really cool fragrance. It's definitely more mass appealing in the dry down, but this is still not your ordinary average Joe kind of fragrance.
So the dry down is really interesting in that I guess it's the cannabis note that sort of feels more intense. So I do feel that it's the cannabis note that is sort of dominating the dry down, but it feels at the same time a bit smoother and easier to enjoy than the opening.
Yeah.
And I'm also picking up on something that is sort of a smoky in the background, together with a bit of the aromatics and something slightly spicy. The spiciness is not as intense as it was in the opening. This, I'm gonna say, if you feel that you don't enjoy the opening, you will most likely not enjoy the dry down as well, because it really feels like that cannabis note has become a bit more intense, even though it's a bit softer at the same time. So how do you feel about the dry down? I mean, I think this is a cool scent. Yes, it doesn't blow me away. I'm not super addicted to it, but I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy wearing it because it's so different.
It's really different.
You will not smell like everyone else when you spray that one on.
No, but you won't smell bad to anyone. Everyone will think that maybe
Different.
Yeah.
He smells a bit different, but not bad.
And maybe everyone won't be like, oh, I just love how you smell. But this is the kind of scent that gets you intrigued. Like, you want to know more. Mysterious.
Mysterious. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Yeah.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
In the best possible way.
So let's move on to Bad Boy Cobalt. Please do spray it on. Pink pepper, lavender, plum, geranium, vetiver, truffle, cedar and oak. So how do you feel about the opening of Bad Boy Cobalt?
I love this one. I love the opening. It has plum together with an earthy side. And something I have realized that I really love is fragrances that has the combination of something sweet, like something fruity, and that earthy side. That is just some amazing combo.
Yeah, this is a fantastic opening, but at the same time, at least to me, it's quite a familiar opening. You have something spicy together with lavender and geranium, so that combo is a fantastic one, but it's not a unique combo. But here's the thing, give it like a minute or two and let it dry down just a bit, and in comes that plum. And that's when you get something that is sort of a fruity sweet together with that aromatic side and that spiciness, and that combo is a fantastic one.
You know what? If I was born as a fruit, do you know which fruit I would be?
Plum?
Yeah. Which fruit would you be?
Okay, this is weird. It's gonna sound weird, but I think strawberries and raspberries are the sexiest fruits.
So of course you would be.
Yeah, and out of those, I'm probably gonna go with strawberries. Am I wrong here? Please put it in the comments if you agree with me in that strawberries is the very sexiest fruit you could ever be, or just put in whatever fruit you would prefer to be. So the opening, fantastic one. So how do you feel about the dry down of Cobalt?
It's so good. It's still aromatic, it's still woody. You can still pick up some of that plum, but it's more toned down now. But the earthy side has come forward even more.
This is such a nice dry down. To me, it's basically a woody dry down with a bit of that sort of a shine from the aromatics. A slight hint of something slightly spicy. I get a bit of vetiver, and I'm guessing it's the truffle that gives what you describe as something earthy.
Yeah.
And the plum is still there, bringing it like a sexy fruity sweetness. I think it's a gorgeous dry down, but here's the thing, I would have loved if the plum and its sort of a fruity sweetness would have been more intense, and I'm curious how this would have turned out if they would have made the truffle more intense, because truffle is not a common note. So this release really makes me curious about the truffle. But I mean, this is a compliment getter. This is a scent that most people who get a whiff with we think smells gorgeous in a sexy way for sure.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I absolutely love it, and I can really agree on if they would have just amped up that plum note. I mean, you can never ever have too much plum, so that would have been cool.
So let's move on to the new Extreme. Please do spray it on. Some of the notes in Bad Boy Extreme are vetiver, patchouli, clary sage, cacao, incense, tonka bean, olibanum, ginger, davana, opoponax, plum, bergamot, and labdanum. So how do you feel about the opening of the new Extreme?
This is so good. I mean, a large dose of chocolate. You can pick up that incense, the tonka bean, the plum, and also the davana, which probably is the reason why this reminds me of Elixir, the 1 million Elixir.
This is such a beautiful opening and a sexy opening, a fantastic opening. I'm actually getting quite a big dose of the aromatic, so I'm getting sage and a bit of that ginger. So it's sort of a bright, but not fresh bright, more sort of aromatic bright in a fantastic way. And already in the opening you get some of that cocoa together with a bit of that plum.
Yeah.
The opening, so easy to like, so easy to wear, and definitely a compliment getter kind of opening.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the dry down of Extreme?
I love the dry down of this. To me, this is a very soft, it's warm, it's slightly spicy, it's very inviting and very attractive. And I think that I'm gonna say that it's also what I usually say when I like a fragrance and when they smell like this, it's creamy in the best possible way. And I think that's maybe the tonka bean, the cacao, the olibanum just playing together in a beautiful way.
A gorgeous dry down. To me, this is mostly like a soft, warm, dark chocolate-ish kind of dry down, together with a fantastic dose of vanilla, a slight hint of something that feels a bit spicy, with a bit of something that feels slightly fruity sweet, and everything is ambery and warm in a fantastic way. And I do want to mention something about that sort of a chocolatey kind of scent in this one. Sometimes chocolate or cocoa in a fragrance can come across as something that is sort of a dryish. This, at least to me, and I'm guessing it's because of the incense and the rest of the notes, comes across as something that is sort of a creamy, smooth, almost balsamic, which I think is fantastic. The opening is a beautiful opening. The dry down just feels like a softer version of it that is more focused on that cocoa together with some of the other notes. I think the dry down is something that is really mass appealing, something that a lot of people are going to find and describe as something that is like sexy and attractive.
Yes.
So here are my thoughts on usage, so like occasions and versatility. I feel Cobalt is probably the most versatile of them all. You can definitely use that one throughout the year. It's going to smell amazing spring, summer and fall for sure. Right behind Cobalt we have the EDT and the Superstars. These are not too heavy or too deep in any way. So I feel they are fairly versatile as well. Use them throughout the year to most occasions. I mean, they are mass appealing since this one is extremely mass appealing. So like work, casual, formally, whenever, wherever. Now with Parfum, I feel we are going into something that leans a bit more towards fall, winter and spring. But with that said, I'm definitely going to use Parfum on summer night outs. Extreme to me is interesting in that, yes, in some ways, it's probably like the deepest, almost sweetest version of them all. So in a way, Extreme is like Parfum, and it's more suited towards like fall, winter and spring as well. As for its scent profile, I do feel this one is a bit more versatile though than Parfum, simply because of its mass appeal. So regardless if you are at work or if you're going out, most people will definitely think you smell amazing with Extreme on. So that's sort of my quick thoughts on usage. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You just put words on everything I would say about these. And I would say that this is the perfect dating fragrance.
So it's time for us to rank these. And this is, in a way, at least for me, easy but at the same time a bit hard as well. So I'm gonna start this time. Coming in last, but I don't feel it's a bad scent, is Parfum. I enjoy it. It's cool. I also feel it's a really underrated scent, but among these, yeah, this one definitely comes last. Then on shared third place, because they are basically the same scent, is the EDT and Collectors. So my two favorites are basically Cobalt and Extreme, and this is where things got really hard because I absolutely love the sort of a more fresher take together with the fruitiness of that plum. This is a fantastic scent and it's almost like a toss-up, but I'm gonna say that maybe Extreme takes the #1 spot, but it's not by much. If they would have made Cobalt more intense, stronger, which this one definitely is, then yeah, I probably would have gone with Cobalt, but I'm going with Extreme as my favorite Bad Boy fragrance. So what about you?
Okay, well, I cannot believe that you put this one on the last spot. That is just crazy.
Okay.
Cobalt was the one that actually started my love for this line because it was the first one that I felt like, wow. And that means I'm going to put the EDT and Superstars on shared last spot.
Okay.
Still great fragrances, but they are not better than these three.
Okay.
Then on spot #2, we have a shared spot.
Whoa!
So I'm going to do like this.
Okay.
Because these two, the Le Parfum and Cobalt, I mean, there is something, and this feels so wrong saying since there's cannabis in this. This has something addictive about it.
Okay.
And I can't stop smelling it.
I do want to say something. This was really interesting. I did not expect this. But also, these two are very, very different.
Yes, and that's probably why I just cannot decide one of them.
Okay.
I love both. I love plum, and I love, obviously, that cannabis. And not cannabis otherwise, just in this. And then the Extreme on spot #1. I mean, that cacao, that sweet, warm creaminess is just fantastic.
Now, I would love to know how you would rank these from your least favorite to your most favorite. So please do share that in the comments. Please do like this video. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you head on over to Sandra Solomon Fragrance's channel. Sub to her, sub to me, and I'll see you in the next one.